Chapter 11 Two Baskets of Holy Medicine. You are listening at novelfold.audio. Do you want to live? Writing this, I hope readers will remember our domain name Taiwan Novel Network. Yi Fan used 10,000 miles of sound transmission and said to the old man in soap robe. Read. The old man in soap robe was startled when he heard this, and quickly glanced around, but did not see anyone. Could it be that powerful person just now, that the old man was muttering here, and the voice in his head sounded again. It's me. Senior, can you save me? No one wants to die while still alive, the old man in soap robe said excitedly. After a pause, the old man in soap robe continued, if Senior can come to the rescue, then I, Chen Feng, am willing to make a soul oath and regard Senior as my master from now on. Want to live? That's not easy. Yi Fan snorted lightly, and then used his spiritual power to draw a six-pointed star pattern on his chest. At a certain moment, a six-pointed star formation appeared in front of Chen Feng. I saw tens of thousands of tadpole runes engraved on the formation suspended in the void, exuding a mysterious and obscure aura. It gave Chen Feng a feeling of fear. The strange spiritual energy fluctuations on the six-pointed star were a kind of fluctuation in space. It gave Chen Feng the feeling that it was like opening a door to a new world. Could this be the lost teleportation formation? Chen Feng was shocked. I will teleport you here now, don't resist. In Chen Feng's mind, Yi Fan's instructions came. The next moment, the teleportation formation was completely activated, and Chen Feng walked into the formation according to Yi Fan's instructions. When Chen Feng completely stepped into the six-pointed star, he felt a weightless feeling. The ability generated by the change in time and space violently tore his body, causing huge pain all over his body. Chen Feng opened his eyes again and came to Mark, looking at Yi Fan, who has a handsome face and is dressed in white. Chen Feng was horrified. With the strength of his half-step fighting king, he actually couldn't see through Mark's strength. Think of the palm of the void just now and the mysterious teleportation formation. Chen Feng guessed that Yi Fan must be the great master of the warring realm who took action just now. The next moment, Chen Feng knelt down in front of Mark. Senior has great magical powers, which amaze me. Please accept Chen Feng's worship. Yi Fan said calmly, you have a good talent, but it is a pity that you were injured by an external force. You will never reach the peak of your fighting soul for the rest of your life. If you can reach the half-step battle king, you are considered to be extremely talented. The old man was greatly shocked when he heard this. Most of the people who knew about his injury were already dead. Unexpectedly, Yi Fan could see it at a glance, which was astonishing. What the senior said hit the nail on the head. When I was young, I did fight with others and was injured. I hope the senior can give me some guidance. Chen Feng bowed again. It's not difficult to recover. Just take some healing medicine. Yi Fan said lightly. Hearing this, Chen Feng couldn't help but smile bitterly. This holy medicine is extremely precious, and even the top powers in Zhongzhou continent may not have it. After half a lifetime of searching and traveling all over the gods and demons continent, Chen Feng never came across a single holy medicine. Yi Fan saw what Chen Feng was thinking and said to him. Have you seen those two baskets? The holy medicine is there, go get it. Yi Fan pointed at the two bamboo baskets behind Chen Feng and said. Chen Feng followed what Yi Fan pointed and looked behind him. He didn't know this, and he was shocked when he saw it. The two bamboo baskets behind Chen Feng were actually emitting extremely strong spiritual power fluctuations. Is this the breath of the holy medicine? Although Chen Feng had never seen the holy medicine with his own eyes, the fluctuation of spiritual energy in front of him was exactly the same as the holy medicine recorded in ancient books. He hurriedly stepped forward and took a quick look, only to see the sacred medicines arranged in a jumbled manner in the bamboo basket. It's just like what Yi Fan said. Two baskets full of holy medicine. The scene in front of me gave people an unreal feeling. The conditions for the birth of the holy medicine are extremely harsh. It cannot be obtained unless the spiritual energy is extremely strong. In addition to having strong spiritual energy, the holy medicine seeds also need to absorb the spiritual energy of heaven and earth to grow. This process would take thousands of years at least. In the 5 continents of the gods and demons continent, even the top powers are unable to breed a single holy medicine. But now, 2 large baskets of holy medicine were placed in front of Chen Feng. how could he not be surprised? These holy medicines should be enough. You have stayed in the half-step War King realm for too long. As long as you take these holy medicines, you can break through again. After a pause, Yi Fan continued. But I have a condition. You must follow me after you break through. I will not force you to do anything you don't want to do, nor will I restrict your freedom. However, if I need you, you must arrive in time. After hearing what Yi Fan said, Chen Feng thought for a while and agreed. After all, Yi Fan is a powerful person in the battle realm. Even if he is a slave, there will be many people lining up. When Yi Fan saw Chen Feng agreeing, he nodded slightly, he waved his hands and said, in that case, the holy medicine belongs to you, go and heal your wounds. Thank you master for the reward. Chen Feng bowed respectfully to Yi Fan, then stood up to choose the holy medicine. Chen Feng is really a good person. He changed his name to master quickly. Yi Fan was very satisfied with this, and exchanged 2 baskets of holy medicine for a subordinate of the King of War. This business is not a loss, because the system issued the task of cultivating future generations. Yi Fan had to cultivate his own power. After all, there are many things that would be troublesome to do by yourself. While Yi Fan was thinking, he accidentally looked up and saw Chen Feng, who was carefully selecting in front of the bamboo basket. While selecting, he also laughed strangely. These 2 are 10,000-year-old Ganoderma lucidum. After I take them, I will definitely recover from my injuries. There are also these 2 10,000-year-old ginsengs. I will keep them for after my injuries are healed. I will definitely be able to break through the War King. Looking at Chen Feng's inexperienced look, Yi Fan couldn't help but frown slightly. How did he accept such a subordinate? If he runs away, wouldn't it be embarrassing for himself? After a long silence, Yi Fan said, no need to do this, use as much as you want. Where can I get more than a dozen jars if not enough? Chen Feng, since his master is so rich, Chen Feng didn't bother to be polite with Yi Fan. After picking up a 10,000-year-old Ganoderma lucidum casually, he went out to practice. Not long after Chen Feng went out, Yi Fan heard the system prompt in his mind. Ding, congratulations to the host. Since Xiao Dyer has been promoted to the Battle Pill realm, the host's realm has been broken through. Feeling the more surging spiritual power coming from his body, Yi Fan knew that he had broken through to the 3rd level of the battle waiting stage. Yi Fan was very excited. This was just one descendant, and in such a short period of time, he broke through from the 1st level of the battle waiting stage to the 3rd level of the battle waiting stage. If there were more descendants, wouldn't he be invincible? At that time, the realm would be raised like a rocket launch, it would grow up. Yi Fan knew that once the system was turned on, there would be tasks to cultivate descendants. Thinking of this, Yi Fan smiled and shook his head. It seemed that he would be busy in the future. Chapter 12, Ancestor's Token. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Chapter 12 Ancestor Token. I in the northern part of the gods and demons continent, in an ancient city, there are 3 major families in this ancient city. They are the Xiao family, the Wang family and the Lu family. Once upon a time, the Xiao family was the dominant tyrant in this ancient city. According to legend, earlier, the ancestor of the Xiao family was a strong warrior king. But now that tens of thousands of years have passed, this powerful warrior king has long since disappeared. Later, slowly, the Xiao family became lonely. Until recently, the Xiao family produced a genius cultivator, Xiao Xian. Xiao Xian had already achieved the War Dan realm before he was 20 years old, and he deservedly became the #1 monk in the ancient city, and the future is limitless, but it seems that Xiao Xian is so famous now. 3 years ago, he was still a useless person who didn't even have spiritual roots. At that time, he couldn't even practice normally. I don't know what's going on, he's just such a loser. He actually advanced to the battle elixir realm in a short period of time. Regarding this matter, both the Wang family and the Lu family agreed that Xiao Xian must have had some adventure, obtained the inheritance of a strong fighting soul. But what outsiders don't know is that Xiao Xian didn't get some fighting spirit inheritance, that is a real inheritance from the strong warrior king. Xiao Xian was sitting next to a stream, twirling the ring on his finger. There are still words in his mouth. Yao Lao, I didn't expect that in just 1 year, I would break through the battle elixir realm. Now that I have become the #1 monk in the ancient city, both the Lu family and the Wang family are avoiding me. All their shops have been taken over by our Xiao family. The Xiao family will definitely become #1 in the ancient city in the future. I have to thank you very much for this. Xiao Xian thanked the ring on his hand. As soon as Xiao Xian finished speaking, a shadow emerged from the ring. This is the Yao Lao in Xiao Xian's mouth, and it is also the adventure that Xiao Xian received from the outside world. Xiao Xian also got this ring by chance. At that time, Yao Lao's remnant soul was hiding in this ring. Later, Yao Lao's remnant soul absorbed Xiao Xian's 3 years of spiritual energy cultivation. Then he slowly recovered. Xiao Xian learned that Yao Lao had absorbed his spiritual energy for 3 years, causing him to become a useless person in other people's mouths. I was ready to throw away the ring when I got angry, but Yao Lao persuaded Xiao Xian to give up the idea and promised to teach Xiao Xian how to practice. Xiao Xian's talent is simply pretty good. Under Yao Lao's personal guidance, it only took 1 year to break through to the Xuanhuan realm. Xiao Xian was very satisfied with this. But Yao Lao doesn't think so. It's just a battle in the Dan realm, there's nothing to be happy about. Hee, don't forget, your fiancé was in the War Pill realm a few years ago. Yao Lao laughed sarcastically. Hearing this, Xiao Xian nodded. Yes, she was in the Battle Pill realm a few years ago, and now she is probably still above me in cultivation. Xiao Xian thought of the 3-year appointment with her fiancé. At that time, Xiao Xian was in front of everyone in the ancient city. He vowed to defeat her within 3 years to avenge the breakup of the engagement. It's okay, Yao Lao. With you here, I will definitely be able to surpass her. Xiao Xian immediately felt relieved and said to Yao Lao. There was Yao Lao, a former warrior in the King of War realm, who was guiding Xiao Xian in his cultivation. What else is there to be afraid of? When Yao Lao saw what Xiao Xian said, he couldn't help but sigh. Xiao Xian, haven't you always been curious about why I look like this? Forget it, I will talk to you today. Then, Yao Lao told Xiao Xian about his past. The original Yao Lao was the national master of the most powerful force in Beizhou continent. Let's not talk about the cultivation level of a warrior king, but his alchemy skills alone are unmatched by anyone. But just when Yao Lao was in the spotlight, the leader of Zhongzhou continent united with several major sect leaders. An ambush was planned for Yao Lao. It was in that battle that Yao Lao was beaten into what he is now. Moreover, the natal elixir fire was also taken away. The weakest of the Zhongzhou kingdom and those several sect leaders are in the War King realm, let alone the Zhongzhou kingdom in the Warring States realm. Do you think these people will let it go if they know I'm still alive? Yao Lao asked Xiao Xian. After listening to Yao Lao's words, Xiao Xian was very shocked. I thought that Yao Lao was the strongest person in the gods and demons continent, but I never expected that there was someone more powerful than Yao Lao. Moreover, they also had Yao Lao's natal elixir fire. Yao Lao, don't worry, I will definitely practice hard. One day, I will definitely avenge you. Xiao Xian clenched his fists and said to Yao Lao. Seeing Xiao Xian regain his fighting spirit, Yao Lao felt very relieved. Xiao Xian, the Dan realm is only the threshold for entering cultivation. It's good that you can realize that there are people outside of others. It's just that the ancient city is too small. It's time to go outside and sharpen your skills. Yao Lao brushed his beard and said to Xiao Xian. While the two were talking, a servant from the Xiao family ran over. Seeing someone coming, Yao Lao quickly retracted into the ring. Master, the master of the family wants you to go to the family ancestral temple. The girl said to Xiao Xian. Why did my father ask me to go to the family ancestral temple? Xiao Xian asked doubtfully. It says it's a family heirloom for the young master, but I don't know the details, the girl replied. Hearing what the servant said, the Yao Lao in the ring didn't take it seriously. What kind of heirloom can a small Xiao family have? Although he felt the disdain of the old medicine man in the ring, Xiao Xian was still ready to go because it was his father who called him. Following the servants, Xiao Xian came to the Xiao family ancestral hall. After entering the gate of the ancestral hall, Xiao Xian greeted Xiao Miao and said, Father, is there anything important that you asked me to come here for? But when Xiao Miao saw Xiao Xian coming, he stood up. Xiao Xian, you have made rapid progress recently. You have advanced to the Battle Pill realm in just 1 year, which has brought a lot of benefits to our Xiao family. I am very pleased about this, but I am very worried about your 3-year agreement with Ouyang Bingqing of the Ice Sect. So I specially asked you to come here to ask what you think, that Xiao Miao asked in a deep voice. Father, the Ice Sect is not worth mentioning. Within 3 years, I will definitely defeat Ouyang Bingqing and make our Xiao family proud. Xiao Xian snorted coldly. In that case, you can take this heirloom. Xiao Miao sighed. Xiao Xian was stunned when he saw the ancient token in Xiao Miao's hand. He thought it was some kind of magic weapon, but it turned out to be a token without any spiritual fluctuations. Xiao Miao seemed to see Xiao Xian's thoughts and explained, according to Xiao Miao, the Xiao family was once very prosperous in the ancient city. The family tree records that the founder of the Xiao family was a great warrior. However, after all these years, the Xiao family has long since changed from a sect to a business. Xiao Xian's ears are almost calloused from hearing about the founder of the Xiao family. But the ancestor has been gone for more than 10,000 years, and it is not certain whether he is still alive. However, since this is his father's painstaking effort, Xiao Xian had to take the token. After taking it in his hand, Xiao Xian said in his heart, as expected. There is really no spiritual fluctuation, it is just an ordinary token that cannot be more ordinary. However, after Xiao Xian took the token in his hand, Yao Lao was shocked as if struck by lightning. Chapter 13, Picture of 10,000 Beasts. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Chapter 13, Map of 10,000 Beasts. Xiao Xian, the token in your hand is very strange. Put him on the ring and let me feel its breath. After Xiao Xian took the token from his father, Yao Lao was very surprised. Even when the sound was transmitted to Xiao Xian's mind, Xiao Xian could clearly feel it. Yao Lao's voice was trembling slightly, although I don't know why, Yao Lao is so surprised, but the next moment, Xiao Xian still put the token on the ring. Yao Lao, is there anything special about this token? Xiao Xian said doubtfully. I just drilled the soul into it and felt it. There is the rhythm of the avenue inside. After Xiao Xian asked, Yao Lao took a long time to respond. Fortunately, I didn't spread any malicious intent, otherwise my remaining soul would have been suppressed. It would be too terrifying. Yao Laoho said fearfully. Isn't this just an ordinary token? Xiao Xian was puzzled when Yao Lao said this. I turned the token in my hand over and over, but still couldn't find any clues. At a certain moment, Yao Lao's voice came faintly. Your realm is low, how can you feel the fluctuations of the Great Avenue? Xiao Xian, your ancestor actually has something like this. I'm afraid he and I are only as strong as each other. Xiao Xian was startled when he heard what Yao Lao said. Is my ancestor stronger than Yao Lao? So, my ancestor is also a strong warrior in the King of War realm. In the past, when Yao Lao was chatting with Xiao Xian, he once used illusion to let Xiao Xian see the scene of Yao Lao fighting with others at his peak. That scene was comparable to the end of the world. A strong man in the realm of War King can call the wind and rain, and blast out with one punch, blowing up a huge mountain range into ashes. Although Xiao Xian has only seen this scene once, however, he will never forget it for the rest of his life. The power of the King of War realm is so unforgettable. And Yao Lao now actually said that his ancestor was also a strong warrior king. How could this not shock Xiao Xian? Yao Lao's words were so decisive that Xiao Xian felt as if he was lying to him. At that moment, Xiao Xian completely believed what his father Xiao Miao said just now. Father, you mentioned before that our ancestor was a powerful warrior in the King of War realm. In addition to leaving this token, does the ancestor have anything else? Xiao Xian asked. When the ancestor left the token, he said that if the descendants of the family are in trouble, you can go to Xuanhuan mountain to find him. If the ancestor was still in Xuanhuan, he would definitely help him. Xiao Miao recalled. Hearing what Xiao Miao said, Yao Lao pondered for a moment. Xiao Xian, you are about to leave the ancient city now and go out to practice. I think the place for this training should be Xuanhuan mountain. Xiao Xian naturally had no doubts about Yao Lao's suggestion, so at that moment, he said goodbye to his father Xiao Miao, packed his luggage and prepared to rush to Xuanhuan mountain. Just when Xiao Xian set off from the ancient city to Xuanhuan mountain, Xiao Dyer and Zhuguanggu arrived one step ahead of Xiao Xian. Now that the leader of the Agni Fire dynasty is dead, the remaining generals are left. they were all crushed to pieces by Yi Fan's big palm of the void. The remaining members of the Agni Fire dynasty were also dead and wounded, and were not to be feared at all. Xiao Dyer only needed 3 people to regain the lost ground, and the Agni dynasty was also taken over. The current Tianqian dynasty has a land area of more than 10 million, it can be said to be unprecedentedly powerful, but at this time, Xiao Dyer resolutely decided to step down from the position of the country's leader and let Xiao Xian temporarily take the position of the country's leader. Through this battle with the Agni Fire dynasty, Xiao Dyer concluded a truth. If you fall behind, you will be beaten. Xiao Dyer wanted to take advantage of the peaceful time in the Tianqian dynasty to come to the family ancestor's side, then cultivate yourself to a higher level. Master, now that the crisis in Tianqian dynasty has passed, Xiao Dyer came back specially to accompany Master. Xiao Dyer said to Mark respectfully. Hearing this, Mark nodded. There will be no war in the Tianqian dynasty for a short period of time. It's good for you to come back. In the future, you must concentrate on your cultivation so that you can take charge of the Tianqian dynasty. This way, you can protect the dynasty for thousands of years, Yi Fan said lightly. I will obey Master's decree. Xiao Dyer cupped her hands and stepped aside after saying this, because the light-chasing tiger was tickling her from behind, as if he had something to say. Master, I didn't do what you asked me to do this time, and I almost got Xiao Dyer injured. Ask the master to punish me. The light-chasing tiger revealed its figure, crawled in front of Mark and said. Well, knowing your mistakes can greatly improve things. After a pause, Yi Fan continued, go to the 10,000 Beasts map and strive to break through to the peak of the King of War as soon as possible. The 10,000 Beasts map is a place where Yi Fan can cultivate monsters after signing in. Inside are the souls of various monsters. By killing the souls, the strength of the monsters can be quickly improved. The light-chasing tiger lowered his head and responded, yes. Then a gap was torn in the void, and the light-chasing tiger shrank in size and got in at once. The next moment, the gap in the void disappeared. It only takes an instant to appear from a gap in the void and then disappear, but Xiao Dyer felt the extremely powerful killing energy coming from the crack. Xiao Dyer's face was pale, her whole body was shaking, and she was very shocked. Master, what was that gap just now? Why is the killing energy so powerful? Xiao Dyer asked anxiously. That is the 10,000 Beasts map, which I found by chance when I was traveling before. It is full of the souls of monsters. By killing these souls, the strength of monsters can be quickly improved. Yi Fan explained. Yi Fan continued, when you have nothing to do in the future, you can practice here and strive to catch up with the light chaser tiger as soon as possible. Hearing Yi Fan say this, Xiao Dyer felt very happy. She was about to open her mouth to thank him, and suddenly felt the breath of a breakthrough in the War King realm coming from afar. Xiao Dyer was shocked, wondering if this War King realm that had just broken through, is it also a follower of the Ancestor? Just as Xiao Dyer was thinking, an old man in a black robe stepped into the hall. This person was Chen Feng, who was given the holy medicine by Yi Fan. After Chen Feng took a few holy medicines, he not only healed his internal injuries, but also broke through the War King realm directly. Now Chen Feng looks very good and radiant. The white hair on his head also turned black. Obviously, after breaking through to the War King realm, his lifespan was greatly extended. Thank you, Master, for the medicine. Chen Feng knelt down in front of Yi Fan and said respectfully, I have broken through to the War King realm and will do anything the Master asks me to do. Yi Fan could see that Chen Feng, who had just broken through to the War King realm, was very excited. Come to think of it, anyone who survived a near-death experience would be extremely excited. Yes, your talent is better than I thought. You have already reached the second level of the War King realm after just breaking through. Yi Fan said with relief. At the same time, Yi Fan also felt a little sorry. It would be great if this Chen Feng was his descendant. In this way, he could also improve, but then again, having one more subordinate was still something worth being happy about. Chapter 14. Another descendant arrives. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Zhongzhou Continent, Tai Dynasty. The Tai Dynasty is the strongest dynasty in the entire Zhongzhou Continent, and even in the entire Gods and Demons Continent. because, the Tai dynasty has a king who is in the war-ready realm, Ancestor Taotian. Strong men in the war-ready realm are rare in the entire continent of gods and demons. Although this Patian patriarch is powerful, he acts in a very low-key manner. Although he shoulders the position of the head of the Tai dynasty, but most of the time, he is still in a state of seclusion and practice. Some affairs in the dynasty were entrusted to several princes with full authority, but today, Ancestor Taotian rarely appeared in the court, because Patian Ancestor received news that Jianqi and Gu Santong had brought news about the powerful warriors from the eastern wasteland, in the continent of gods and demons, except for his apparently war-ready state. Privately, there must be many senior monks living in seclusion, but what Taotian didn't expect was that this war-ready warrior was actually in the eastern wasteland. As far as he knew, there seemed to be no war-king realm in that place in the eastern wasteland for thousands of years. Ta Tianlao Zhu was very surprised. He had always thought that Donghuang was the lowest place in the entire continent of gods and demons. Unexpectedly, a war monk would appear now. Sword crazy, ancient three links. Didn't you two go to the eastern wasteland to capture the fire demon? How did you meet the war monk? That the Lord of Tatian Kingdom sat on the dragon chair and asked. Lord, this is what happened. At that moment, Gu Santong told the Lord of Tatian Kingdom all the ins and outs of the matter. After explaining the reason clearly, Gu Santong continued, Your Majesty, I also used the star compass to record the scenes of strong men taking action during the war. I wonder if Your Majesty would like to take a look. After getting permission from the Lord of the Kingdom of Tatian, Gu Santong activated the yin and yang compass in his hand. Then a picture was projected into the void. This scene recorded by Gu Santong is exactly the scene when Yifan started to crush the fire demon. Looking at the boundless world of Dharma and the void, everyone present could not help but feel numb. Others in the palace couldn't help but be shocked. Even the Lord of Tatian Kingdom couldn't calm down for a long time after seeing the fantasy. After a long while, Ancestor Ta Tian finally regained his composure. A sighing sound reached everyone's ears like thunder. Patriarch Taotian sighed. The sky in this gods and demons continent is probably going to change. This person's cultivation level is on par with mine. I never expected that a strong man ready for war would emerge from the eastern wasteland. After a pause, Patriarch Taotian continued, It's true that it was once the largest domain in the gods and demons continent. Even if it is now at the bottom, it still cannot be underestimated. Master, what should we do with this war-ready monk? His Highness, a general at the peak of war king asked. This man has extraordinary skills, we must do everything possible to win over him. Patian Ancestor replied, at the same time that Patian Patriarch and everyone were discussing how to win over Mark, Xiao Xian and Yao Lao Lai have arrived at Xuanhuan Mountain. Yao Lao, this 100,000 mountain is indeed a restricted area. Look at the terrifying aura of this mountain. There is probably a great demon in the realm of the King of War hidden inside. Xiao Xian looked at the depths of the mountain and couldn't help but feel his pressure doubled. Dangers and opportunities coexist, and there are treasures everywhere here. If you can find the Xuanhuan grass to refine the Xuanhuan pill, you can awaken your royal god bloodline. Yao Lao replied. While the two of them were talking, Yao Lao was still emitting spiritual consciousness and constantly searching Xuanhuan Mountain. Xiao Xian, I'm afraid your ancestor is no longer here. I've searched with my spiritual sense for so long, but I can't find any trace of him. Yao Lao's tone immediately became lonely. This time I brought Xiao Xian to Xuanhuan Mountain to search for Xuanhuan grass. The second is to see if we can find the ancestor of the Xiao family. But now it seems that the ancestor of the Xiao family may not be found. Xiao Xian was slightly disappointed when he heard the news. However, in just a moment, Xiao Xian adjusted his mentality. There are many opportunities for experience in Xuanhuan. With your own strength, you still have a chance to win a 3-year contract. But just when Yao Lao withdrew his consciousness, Yifan in the cave heaven paradise discovered this strange power of exploration. Then, with a thought in Yifan's mind, the scene of Xiao Xian entering Xuanhuan Mountain appeared in front of him. Yifan looked at the projection for a while and saw the token hanging on Xiao Xian's waist. Well, he is actually my descendant. And there seems to be the remnant soul of a warrior king realm monk on his ring. Yifan murmured, this scene is extremely familiar. Yifan seemed to have read it in a novel in his previous life. However, the strength of the remnant soul in this ring is only at the Battle King level, compared to the Yao Lao in Dopa, he is much worse. Ding, the host has triggered a mission to cultivate his descendant Xiaoxian. As the level of future generations improves, the host can also receive corresponding rewards. Just as Yi Fan was thinking, the voice of the system suddenly came from his mind. The mission has been triggered again. Now, including Xiao Dyer, I have 2 descendants to cultivate. It seems that I have a chance of breaking through the war zone. Hearing the sound of the system, a smile appeared on Yi Fan's lips. This descendant who suddenly appeared in the restricted area should be Xiaoxian. Yi Fan saw from his fantasy that the descendants who came had a big word Xiao carved on their clothes. He concluded that this person should be Xiaoxian. There is no time to lose. There are many monsters in the 10,000 mountains. In order to protect Xiaoxian from being killed, he should be picked up quickly. Xiaohua, go pick him up. Yi Fan sent a message to the beast garden outside. The firebird phoenix is familiar with the 10,000 mountains. Yi Fan felt relieved to let him pick up Xiaoxian. Moment later, a war king monster with a tortoise body, a snake tail and a single horn on its head appeared in front of Yi Fan. Master, Xiaohua is in seclusion, so I will pick him up. The war king monster said, looking at the war king monster that appeared out of thin air. Xiao Dyer was shocked, she had seen it in the classics. This was the Xuanhuan of the ancient times. It was said that Xuanhuan had disappeared for a long time. She didn't expect to meet it here today, and this Xuanhuan has become a powerful person and has cultivated to the realm of War King. Xiao Dyer walked up to Yi Fan and asked. Yi Fan nodded and said calmly, it is indeed Xuanhuan. Yi Fan fell into memories. When he was traveling in the God and Demon continent, he met a dying Xuanhuan, and later saved it with a basket of holy medicine. In ancient times, Xuanhuan was exterminated by the powerful. Although this one survived by chance, it was also lingering. Yi Fan saw that its bloodline was strong and its defense was the strongest among the kings of the same level, so he accepted it. Chapter 15 Finding the Ancestor. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Xiaohua is in retreat. Hearing this, Yi Fan said lightly, in that case, then you can go and come back quickly. Read. After Xuanhuan got Yi Fan's order, he responded and turned into a stream of light and went straight to Xiaoxian. This is first the fire bird and phoenix, and then the light-chasing tiger. Now another ancient Xuanhuan has been created. Moreover, these ancient monsters are all in the realm of war kings. Xiao Dyer was stunned. As I write this, I hope readers will remember our domain name Taiwan Novel Network. Master, how many war king subordinates do you have? Xiao Dyer said with a bitter smile. When Xiao Dyer asked, Yi Fan didn't answer and just smiled mysteriously. With his cultivation in the warring realm, how many of these demonic beast subordinates in the warring king realm would he want? Chen Feng witnessed all this. While shocked, I sighed secretly in my heart. There are endless war king monsters, and his master is too powerful. It seems that he is not following the wrong person. Just when Chen Feng was sighing secretly, he was outside Xuanhuan. Under Yao Lao's guidance, Xiaoxian successfully killed a war core realm monster. Looking at Xiongji lying motionless on the ground, Xiaoxian couldn't help but tremble slightly. He is afraid. The process of killing this war pill monster just now was too dangerous. Several times, Xiaoxian almost died under the big claws of this bear. They are both in the war pill realm. But this beast is so powerful that it is extremely difficult to get close to it, let alone kill it. Fortunately, Yao Lao finally pointed out that Xiongyan's weak point was his eyes. I'm afraid Xiaoxian hasn't killed it that easily. After successfully killing Xiongyan, Xiaoxian sighed secretly. Even a war core realm monster is so strong, how can it go on? Yao Lao, why are the monsters here so powerful, far beyond those seen outside? Xiaoxian asked Yao Lao. Well, I noticed this just now. I specifically used my spiritual sense to investigate, and found that there is a strong spiritual energy deep in the mountain, washing the muscles and bones of the monsters here. That's why the monsters here are much stronger than those outside. Yao Lao replied. So that's it. Xiaoxian understood immediately. Dealing with a bear scorpion consumed Xiaoxian's energy. He meditated and rested for a while before continuing on his way. At this moment, Xiao Xian suddenly saw a black spot floating in the sky in the distance. The speed was very fast, and in the blink of an eye, he had already arrived in front of Xiao Xian. Turtle. Xiao Xian was a little surprised when he saw the little turtle slowly wandering in the air in the distance. This little turtle looked naive and very cute. Xiao Xian was just about to walk over with his new love, when suddenly Yao Boss shouted. "No, that's a War King realm monster, run away." Xuanhuan had been hiding his aura, so Yao Lao didn't feel it until he was in front of Xiao Xian. You don't know this by looking at it, but you'll be shocked when you see it. It's actually a great demon of the War King realm, and it seems to be Xuanhuan from ancient times. Yao Lao was so frightened that he hurriedly told Xiao Xian to run for his life. "Ancient Xuanhuan," Xiao Xian shouted and then ran away, but as soon as he lifted his legs, he found that his legs were as if they were filled with lead and he couldn't move even half a step. "It's over, this War King monster has noticed me, Yao Lao, please think of a solution quickly." After being immobilized by Xuanhuan, Xiao Xian quickly sent a message to Mr. Shi for help. The War King demon has his own dignity. Generally, they don't bother to kill monks whose realm is too low. Now that he can't run away, Yao Lao calm down, you can lower your attitude in a while, and maybe you can let him go. You. Just as he was talking, Xuanhuan had already floated in front of Xiao Xian. Xiao Xian, the monk from the ancient city, unintentionally offended the senior. I hope the senior will not blame you. Following Yao Lao's words, Xiao Xian bowed to Xuanhuan. I have been ordered by my master to come to pick you up. Come with me. Yi Fan valued Xiao Xian more, and Xuanhuan didn't dare to entrust him, so he quickly replied. Xiao Xian and Yao Lao were shocked when they heard what Xuanhuan said. This War King realm monster said, is it under the orders of its master? That who is this master, that he can actually recover a Xuanhuan of the War King realm? Xuanhuan didn't waste any more words with Xiao Xian. After the explanation was completed, he directly used his escape technique, and a rainbow light enveloped Xiao Xian and Xuanhuan, flying towards Yi Fan's cave together. In just a moment, Xuanhuan took Xiao Xian to the destination. Xiao Xian looked around, feeling extremely shocked. The concentration of spiritual energy here far exceeds that of the outside world, making it a perfect place for practice. Even if he didn't dare to do anything, just stay here. Xiao Xian was confident that he could break through the War Pill realm within a period of time. Looking further into the distance, a bird is catching lice on a cow's head, and a little milk dog is chasing a butterfly next to it. It's an idyllic scene, but Yao Lao could tell at a glance that these seemingly harmless animals were far more powerful than him, even at the King of War level. Xiao Xian. Yi Fan paced over when he saw the descendants arriving. Xiao Xian was startled and looked at Yi Fan, a young man with a handsome appearance and strong bones. Although he seemed ordinary, he had a faint fairy charm. Isn't this the same look as the ancestor enshrined in the Xiao family's ancestral temple? Descendant Xiao Xian, pay homage to our ancestor. Xiao Xian was very excited to see his ancestor and kowtowed directly in front of Mark. Get up. Yi Fan said lightly. The next moment, Yi Fan accidentally saw the token hanging on Xiao Xian's waist. Yi Fan grabbed the token in his hand, and saw the word Xiao engraved on it. He remembered that this Xiao family was the family of one of his adopted sisters. Unexpectedly, 10,000 years have passed in a flash. What is the situation of the Xiao family now? Yi Fan did not directly ask about his adopted sister. After all, 10,000 years have passed. Xiao Xian is so young that he may not know these. Seeing Yi Fan asking, Xiao Xian honestly told Yi Fan about the recent situation of the Xiao family. The Xiao family is currently running a medicinal materials business in the ancient city, and its scale is first class in the ancient city area. And since I broke through the battle pill realm, I became the first cultivator in the ancient city in one fell swoop, so the families in the ancient city dare not be presumptuous. Xiao Xian introduced. Hearing Xiao Xian say this, Yi Fan nodded. You have a good talent. You are already at the 4th level of the battle pill realm at such a young age. You must have received guidance from a noble person, right? Hearing this, Xiao Xian froze. He has kept Yao Lao with him for so long, and no one has been able to find his whereabouts. I didn't expect that his ancestor could actually find Yao Lao's figure at a glance. Come out. Before Xiao Xian could react, Yi Fan said lightly. Ancient city domain. Yao Lao of Yao Wang sect pays homage to Senior Xuanhuan realm. As soon as Yi Fan finished speaking, Yao Lao came out of Xiao Xian's ring, and a shadow bowed in front of Yi Fan. Chapter 16 Please don't do this. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Chapter 16 Please don't do this. Yao Lao just now said that his ancestor was in the war-waiting state. Hearing this, Xiao Xian was dumbfounded. Just now, he only felt that his ancestor's aura was powerful, and he was estimated to be a peak war king, but Xiao Xian never imagined that the ancestor was actually in the warring stage. Although warriors at the King of War realm are very rare in the gods and demons continent, but compared with the wartime realm, it is completely different. It is too difficult to break through the war-preparing state. Among 10,000 war kings, it is difficult to reach a war-preparing state, so Xiao Xian and Yao Lao were very surprised. Not only were they surprised, even Mark was slightly surprised. Yi Fan is now at the third level of the warring realm, and he has deliberately concealed the fluctuations of spiritual energy. Unexpectedly, Yao Lao could still see his realm. Yao Lao, do you have a unique chi-watching technique? Yi Fan asked. There are 3,000 avenues. Although some monks are not as good as himself, they are not guaranteed to be able to master some strange techniques. Returning to Senior Xuanhuan, I was lucky enough to meet a Senior Xuanhuan before, so I know the aura. Yao Lao replied. Hearing Yao Lao say this, Yi Fan understood. Since you are from the Yaowang sect, do you know Xiao Honglian? Yi Fan then asked. Senior, are you talking about Ancestor Honglian? Yao Lao cupped his hands and said, Ancestor Honglian is the sect leader of our Yaowang sect, and he is also a strong man in the warring realm. Hearing Yao Lao say this, Yi Fan showed a thoughtful expression. Yi Fan recalled the little girl who always liked to follow behind him and act like a little tail thousands of years ago. Unexpectedly, Xiao Gulian back then was now in a war-ready state. But then I thought about it. 10,000 years had passed, with Xiao Honglian's Taiyin physique and her own guidance. It is not surprising that she has achieved this level of cultivation, although the wilderness area where Yi Fan is located is quite far away from the ancient city area, but they all belong to the same mansion. This mansion is called Shenle Mansion, and it has 82 domains under its jurisdiction. The ancient city domain and the great wilderness domain are one in the north and the other in the east. Shenle Mansion covers an area of 8 trillion square kilometers, and there are 3,000 parallel mansions like this. In every mansion, there is the power that Yi Fan originally created. This little red lotus is just one scoop out of 3,000 drownings. Since you are the elder of the little red lotus sect, you are also destined to me. I have the supreme divine object, the chaos divine tree, to help you reshape your body. Yi Fan said lightly. When Yao Lao heard Yi Fan Gujing Wubua's words, he felt a great uproar in his heart. Is it actually the chaos sacred tree? Yao Lao was extremely excited. He has been living on his last breath so that one day he can reshape his body and kill his enemies with his own hands. After enduring humiliation and heavy burden for so many years, you never thought it would be so easy to achieve it now? Yao Lao had an unreal feeling. Senior, give this chaos divine tree to Xiao Xian. I will attach myself to him and absorb his spiritual power for a few years. Giving this chaos divine tree to Xiao Xian can help him awaken the power of blood in his body, which can be regarded as repaying this favor. Besides, I am already at this age. Even if I reshape my body, I may not be able to go further. It will be wasted on me, but Xiao Xian is different. He is still young, and after awakening the power of his bloodline, he may be able to cultivate to a war-ready state. When Xiao Xian heard this, the corners of his eyes became inexplicably moist, and he was moved and said, No, Yao Lao, you should use this chaos sacred tree. You bear a blood feud. If you can't reshape your body, when will you be able to kill your enemy with your own hands? Yao Lao and Xiao Xian have a deep love for each other, and they both want to give each other the chaos sacred tree. Yi Fan was slightly touched when he saw this scene. You don't have to argue. I have something more suitable for Xiao Xian. So you should use this chaos sacred tree, Mr. Yao. It's not a valuable thing anyway. Yi Fan said to the two of them calmly. Then, Yi Fan took out a box from his sleeve. This box contains Tai holy water. Drinking it can awaken the power of bloodline to the maximum extent. This is much better than Xuanhuan Dan. Everyone in Xiao Dai couldn't help being shocked when they saw Yi Fan just throwing the box to Xiao Xian. Although Xiao Dai and Chen Feng had never heard of Tai holy water, just by looking at the box covered with runes, they knew it was not a mortal thing. Just when Xiao Dai and Chen Feng looked confused, Yao Lao took over the chaos sacred tree from Xiao Xian, because medicine is always a soul body and has no physical body. Yao Lao wrapped the chaos divine wood with spiritual energy. And under the guidance of Yi Fan, he went to the retreat outside to fuse the chaos divine wood and reshape his body. After Yao Lao left, Xiao Xian knelt down and worshipped on the ground again. Xiao Xian thanked the ancestor for Yao Lao and gave him the chaos sacred tree. Xiao Xian kowtowed. It doesn't have to be like this, it's just a piece of wood. If you need it, there are all over there. Yi Fan waved his hand, and then said, but this old piece of wood is too hard, and it hurts your head when you sleep. It's pretty good for a fire, and it can burn for a long time. Xiao Xian followed Yi Fan's finger and saw piles of wood piled up beside the stove. Taking a closer look, Xiao Xian couldn't believe his eyes. It was like a bolt from the blue, or someone poured cold water on me from head to toe, making my whole body numb. The chaos divine tree that he and Yao Lao still regarded as a treasure was actually burned by the ancestor as firewood. Compared with Xiao Xian, Xiao Dai and Chen Feng are somewhat more accustomed to everything here. Xiao Dai looked at Xiao Xian, who was stiff, covered her face and shook her head. She wanted to say to Marquis, please don't do this, it can scare people to death. Chapter 17 Star God Stone. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Chapter 17 Star Divine Stone. In the following days, Xiao Xian was surrounded by various confusions every day. Xiao Xian moved into a room prepared by Yi Fan for him. The room was filled with all kinds of natural and earthly treasures, which dazzled Xiao Xian, not to mention anything else. The pillow Xiao Xian used to sleep on was carved from 10,000 years cold jade. Sleeping on this kind of pillow, Xiao Xian felt that his mind was clear. All the previous questions about the technique were cleared up in an instant, and the spiritual energy in his body became more pure. There are also bowls and chopsticks for eating, which are made from meteorites tempered by the true fire of Samadhi. The meteorite iron is a material used by monks from the gods and demons continent to refine heavenly magic weapons. My ancestors actually used it to make bowls and chopsticks. Not only the bowls and chopsticks, but also the stones used to pave the way in Xiao Xian's room are all made of meteorite. Especially the piles of stones thrown outside the room like rubbish made Xiao Xian crazy. Those are the best spiritual stones. You must know that the spiritual stones used in cultivation in the gods and demons continent are divided into 3 grades, upper, middle and lower. One high-grade spiritual stone can be exchanged for 100 middle-grade spiritual stones, and one middle-grade spiritual stone can be exchanged for 100 low-grade spiritual stones. Above the high-grade spiritual stones are the top-grade spiritual stones. The best spiritual stones are priceless, and it is difficult to find even one in a 10,000 feet long spiritual vein. Xiao Xian usually uses low-grade spiritual stones for training and expenses, seeing so many high-quality spiritual stones scattered and discarded at this moment. Xiao Xian wished he could put them all into the storage ring. However, the storage ring in his body only has so much space. There is no way it can hold this mountain of top-quality spiritual stones. Just when Xiao Xian was secretly regretting that he didn't bring a few more storage rings, he felt someone behind him tap him lightly. Xiao Xian, why are you standing here? Please give way. Xiao Xian turned around and found that it was senior sister Xiao Dai. I saw Xiao Dai holding a colorful salamander in one hand and a handful of holy medicine in the other. Xiao Xian stepped aside and asked doubtfully, what are you going to do, senior sister? Ancestor said we would cook braised fish for today. Xiao Dai tightened her grip on the holy elixir. Why are you still sitting here stupidly? Come over here and help me wash the vegetables. Hearing this, Xiao Xian felt as if he had been struck by lightning. Xiao Dai looked at Xiao Xian, who was in a half-mad state. She was too busy to explain so much to Xiao Xian this time. After stuffing a handful of the holy medicine into Xiao Xian's hand, Xiao Dai went to deal with the colorful salamander. Xiao Xian, these holy medicines need to be washed in the 10,000 years spiritual spring outside. Remember to throw away the dirty water after washing. Xiao Dai's words came from the front. the holy medicine of cleansing from Xuanhuan mountain for 10,000 years. Do you have to throw away the water after washing? Do people say it? But since the senior sister told her, Xuanhuan still did it. Looking at the Wanyan Xuanhuan mountain that he had dumped, the corners of Xuanhuan's mouth couldn't help but twitch. Seeing the meal, Yifan also paced to the kitchen. Seeing that the braised fish on the grill was ready, Yifan nodded slightly. The braised fish was cooked well today. Xiao Dyer is good at cooking. It's pretty good. When Xuanhuan and Xiao Dyer saw Mark coming out, they quickly ran over and greeted respectfully. Ancestor, you are out. Yes. Yifan nodded, let's have dinner. Since their ancestor gave the order, Xuanhuan and Xiao Dyer did not dare to disobey. He also followed Yifan to sit at the dining table and tasted the delicious food together. A colorful giant salamander weighing more than 10 kilograms was quickly solved by Yifan and others. Colorful giant salamander can speed up the progress of cultivation. Yifan burped, Xiao Dyer, take Xuanhuan to the formation hall to refine spiritual energy. I obey, master. After Xiao Dyer said this, she led Xuanhuan to the formation hall. Last time Yifan took Xiao Dyer to the formation hall, so she remembered the path. Xuanhuan, be mentally prepared. Xiao Dyer vaccinated Xuanhuan in advance. No matter what you see, you have to stay calm. Hearing what Xiao Dyer said, Xuanhuan couldn't help but look forward to it. Even the senior sister said so. It seems that the Ancestor's formation palace is extraordinary. After a while, Xiao Dyer brought Xuanhuan to the formation hall. Although Xuanhuan was mentally prepared, when he saw the Bodhi tree and various auxiliary formations from ancient times, he was still stunned by the shock. His figure stood there blankly. His head was buzzing, as if someone had hit him on the head with a stick. Hey! Looking at Xuanhuan's appearance, Xiao Dyer sighed. It seems that he was still frightened by his ancestor's generosity. Thinking of her own appearance when she came here for the first time, she was no better than Xuanhuan. Junior brother, please calm down. Xiao Dyer comforted Xuanhuan. To the ancestor, these are just a drop in the bucket. Let's practice as soon as possible and don't let down the trust of the ancestor. Cultivation is timeless, and 3 days pass in the blink of an eye. In 3 days, Xiao Dyer refined the spiritual energy in her body and advanced from the first level of the war pill to the 4th level of the war pill. Seeing that Xuanhuan was still practicing, Xiao Dyer continued to meditate and wait for him. After waiting like this for 2 days, Xuanhuan opened his eyes. This time he refined the spiritual energy and advanced from the battle pill level to the 2nd level of the battle pill. Seeing that Xuanhuan had finished refining his spiritual energy, Xiao Dyer led him to return to life with Yifan. Xuanhuan, you are not good at this talent. It took you 5 days to refine such a small amount of spiritual energy. After returning to the main hall, Yifan said to Xuanhuan after listening to Xiao Dyer's feedback. Grandmaster, Yao Lao said that I am a congenital spiritual body. This kind of spiritual body is 1 in a million. And the speed of cultivation is far faster than others. Xuanhuan was a little unconvinced when he saw that he was outdone by Xiao Dyer. Yifan smiled and said, Xuanhuan, go and get the stone that presses the ash next to the stove. According to Yifan's request, Xuanhuan moved a piece of black stone to Yifan. This is left after the destruction of a star. If you fuse it, you can stimulate the star bloodline. In the future, when fighting against the enemy, you can use the power of the star. Yifan said lightly. How do you think your congenital spiritual body compares with it? Yifan asked. Compared with the star bloodline, my congenital spiritual body is a waste. Although he was unwilling to admit that he was not as good as Xiao Dyer, Xuanhuan still told the truth. Xuanhuan had taken Tai holy water before, which had stimulated all the bloodlines of the congenital spiritual body. Now if he fuses the star bloodline again, then the two will be superimposed, and its power will increase exponentially. In the future, fighting against opponents of higher levels will probably be as easy as eating and drinking for Xuanhuan. After all, Xuanhuan, who can use the power of stars to fight against enemies, is already like a god. Just when Xuanhuan merged the star god stone, Great Wilderness, Xuanhuan sect is holding the annual sect disciple competition. Xuanhuan sect is the top sect in the Great Wilderness, and the sect leader Jian Wuxia is half a step away from reaching the level of War King. The competition is going on the ring, and the person on the stage is Xiao Xian's sister, Xiao Yun. Zhao Debao, a disciple of the War Dan realm, is fighting against Xiao Yun. Since I was defeated by your brother, I have practiced hard for 3 years. Now I have become a disciple of Xuanhuan sect. Today, I will use your blood to wash away this shame. Zhao Debao said to Xiao Yun viciously. Chapter 18, Ancient Star Art. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Chapter 18, Ancient Star Secret. Wang Yan, you are just a defeated general of my brother, yet you dare to speak so arrogantly. Read, since my brother can defeat you, then I can defeat you too. Xiao Yun snorted and said sternly, especially when she said the last sentence. Xiao Yun deliberately emphasized her tone. That means, have you, Wang Yan, forgotten that my brother made you so unrecognizable that even your parents didn't recognize you? Now you dare to come to my house while my brother Xiao Xian is not around. Okay, I hope you can remember what you said when I beat you to your knees and beg for mercy. Wang Yan laughed in anger, and his killing intent towards Xiao Yun became stronger. Xiao Yun was eloquent, and Wang Yan knew that he couldn't get any advantage with his mouth, so he kept silent after saying this. The next moment, Wang Yan raised the 9-link machete in his hand, stepped hard with his front foot, and the whole person rushed towards Xiao Yun like a cannonball, facing the aggressive Wang Yan. Xiao Yun did not dare to be careless. She drew out the Qinghong sword from her waist and rushed towards Wang Yan. The 9-linked machete in Wang Yan's hand went straight to Xiao Yun's face. Xiao Yun lost the opportunity and had to block it with the sword across her chest. Looking at Xiao Yun with the sword across her chest, Wang Yan smiled grimly. Even a warrior in the Battle Dan realm would not dare to block his full-strength attack. Xiao Yun, who is only a 6th-level warrior, did not dodge. You are simply courting death. Ding! As expected, Wang Yan's powerful and heavy knife directly cut off the sword in Xiao Yun's hand. After cutting off the Qinghong sword in Xiao Yun's hand, Wang Yan's machete continued to move forward and chopped directly at Xiao Yun. The petite Xiao Yun was even the same height as the machete in Wang Yan's hand. Everyone had no doubt that Wang Yan could split Xiao Yun in half. Even the referee on the stage realized this. He wanted to stop it, but it was too late. Boom! That a muffled sound came from the ring. Xiao Yun opened her dark eyebrows and found that she was not dead yet. Looking in front of her, an elliptical barrier blocked the big knife in Wang Yan's hand. I didn't expect you still have the Qinghong armor. Wang Yan said in surprise. This set of Qinghong armor and the Qinghong sword just now are the same set, which was purchased by the Xiao family for 500 medium-grade spirit stones. But this armor can protect you once, but it can't protect you a second time. Wang Yan drew his sword and accumulated power, and his 5th-level combat pill cultivation was no longer reserved. The next moment, Wang Yan slashed at Xiao Yun's armor again. This time, there were cracks on the defensive barrier activated by the Qinghong armor, and Xiao Yun also spit out a mouthful of blood, and then her feet softened and she fell to the ground. This time, Wang Yan directly shattered Xiao Yun's meridians in her body, completely cutting off her path of cultivation. I'm not mistaken, this Wang Yan is actually a top-grade spiritual root, and he is also a 5th-level battle pill. A sharp-eyed disciple under the ring shouted. Only the top-grade spiritual root of the battle pill realm can smash the middle-grade defensive magic weapon, Qinghong armor, with one sword. On the ring, Wang Yan shined brilliantly, and the scene of smashing the middle-grade magic weapon with one sword was naturally seen by the sect master Hu Tai. Hu Tai was very excited, and at this moment he didn't care about his identity. He jumped onto the ring and asked about Wang Yan's identity. Report to the sect master, I am Wang Yan, the young patriarch of the Wang family in the ancient city. Wang Yan replied honestly. Wang Yan, can you worship me as your master? Hu Tai smiled slightly. He didn't expect that there would be such a talented person in the barbarian land, with top-grade spiritual roots and a 5th-level battle pill under the age of 20. Wang Yan's future is limitless, and it is very likely to break through to the Battle King realm. Wang Yan was overjoyed when he heard this. He came to Xuanhuan sect this time to worship into its sect, but he didn't expect to get the affirmation of the sect master directly. Disciple Wang Yan, I pay my respects to the master. Wang Yan said hurriedly. Good disciple, stand up. Hu Tai brushed his beard with one hand and said with satisfaction, seeing this scene on the ring, everyone at the moment was jealous. This Wang Yan is so lucky, since he became the sect master's disciple directly. Yes, the sect master's lifespan is almost over, and he has never accepted any disciples. Now Wang Yan has directly become the sect master's first disciple. I'm afraid the next sect master should be named Wang. What are you jealous of? What do you mean by good luck? It is obviously Wang Yan who has this strength. If you also have a top-grade spiritual root and the 5th level of the Battle Pill realm, maybe the sect master can also accept you as a disciple. The people below the stage were talking, not far away from Wang Yan. Xuanhuan, who was lying on the ground, seemed to be a bit of an eyesore, and the referee wanted to drag him off the ring. Go back and tell your brother Xuanhuan to roll over and duel with me, otherwise I will destroy the entire Xiao family. Wang Yan turned his head and said to Xuanhuan coldly. Hearing Wang Yan's words, sect master Hu Tai became interested. Wang Yan, is this Xuanhuan also a top-grade spiritual root? Why do you have to duel with him? Hu Tai asked. Seeing the sect master asking, Wang Yan told him about Xuanhuan's experience. Master, this Xuanhuan is just a waste, relying on drugs to pile up to the war pill realm. At the end, Wang Yan added a sentence. Hu Tai nodded slightly, and suddenly said, so that's the case. In this case, then expel Xuanhuan from the sect as well. After thinking about it, Hu Tai continued. According to what Wang Yan said, this Xiao family is just a small family that is not in the mainstream, and the strongest combat power is only the war pill realm, which can't be compared with the Zhanglang sect at all. In this case, it's better to do a favor. Just when Xuanhuan was notified by the Zhanglang sect that the head of the Xiao family sent someone to carry him back. Xuanhuan in the 10,000 mountains has already merged with the star god Stone and has broken through to the 2nd level of the battle body realm. After Xuanhuan broke through to the 2nd level of the battle body realm, his whole body swelled up, his muscles were tangled, and his hair stood up, as if he was a human-shaped bear. His innate spiritual roots were fully stimulated, and Xuanhuan's cultivation level would be green light all the way, and there would be no bottleneck. This means that if the spiritual energy is sufficient, Xuanhuan can continue to cultivate to the Battle King realm. As for breaking through to the Battle Candidate realm, it still requires one's own understanding of the Great Tao. It cannot be made up by spiritual energy, but even so, it has changed dramatically from the previous self. At the same time, a technique appeared in Xuanhuan's mind, the ancient star art. Xuanhuan took a rough look at this technique and was very shocked. This technique can be cultivated to the state of transformation, and it can actually directly attract external stars, thereby crushing the opponent. This really surprised Xuanhuan. Thank you, Ancestor. Xuanhuan felt the changes in his body and then kowtowed to Yifan. At the same time, Xuanhuan's father Xiao Miao sent him a Wanli Chuanin note. Did something urgent happen to his father that he actually used a Wanli Chuanin note worth 1 top-grade spirit stone? Xuanhuan crushed the Chuanin note and heard his father Xiao Miao's voice in the hall. Xuanhuan, your sister was injured by Wang Yan in the competition, and Wang Yan was valued by the sect master and directly accepted as a disciple. You must not go to the area near Zhanglang sect, or your name may be in danger. Wang Yan actually dared to hurt my sister Xuanhuan. I swear I am not a human being if I don't take revenge. Xuanhuan turned around and kowtowed to Yifan. Master, I may have to go down the mountain. Go, don't lose face for your master. Yifan said lightly. Chapter 19 My brother is back. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Chapter 19 Brother is back. Xuanhuan told Yifan exactly what his father had said. Read, after hearing that the young patriarch of the Wang family had seriously injured Xuanhuan's sister, Xiao Daya raised her eyebrows. This young patriarch of the Wang family is too arrogant. Junior brother, if you need anything, let me know and I will teach this Wang family a lesson for you. Xuanhuan felt warm in his heart, but still said, Junior brother can solve this matter, thank you for your concern. The two were chatting, and Yifan walked to the kitchen outside with his hand. He took a fire stick from the kitchen and threw it to Xuanhuan through the window. Disciple, since you are going down the mountain, Master will give you another treasure. When Xiao Xian heard Yi Fan say that he was giving you a treasure, he was not only shocked, but also felt that the products of his master must be exquisite. He took the stick thrown by Yi Fan with great expectation. After looking at it, the stick was 1.5 meters long. Was it a black fire stick? Xiao Xian didn't believe that Yi Fan would give him an ordinary stick at first, so he circulated his spiritual power into the stick. He found that there was really no spiritual fluctuation, just an ordinary fire stick. Xiao Xian was immediately speechless. Master, why did I hear that the last time my senior sister went down the mountain, you directly gave her a war king monster as a guardian? Why did it become a fire stick now? Hearing Xiao Xian say this, Xiao Dyer couldn't help but smile. Junior brother, what do you want the master to give you? Hee, at least you should give me a war king monster like you did to my senior sister. Xiao Xian scratched the back of his head and laughed. What are you thinking about? You are a grown man, what kind of monster do you want to be protected by? Take the stick and go down the mountain quickly. Yi Fan said lightly. His disciple is really good. A grown man still wants me to give him a monster as a guardian. Seeing that Yi Fan said this, Xiao Xian immediately gave up the idea of wanting a war king monster. After bowing to the ancestor Yi Fan, Xiao Xian took the fire stick and wanted to go down the mountain. Xuanhuan mountain is dangerous, I'll let Xuanwu take you away. Seeing Xiao Xian was about to leave, Yi Fan called the great demon Xuanwu. After telling Xuanwu a few words, Xuanwu took Xiao Xian down the mountain. Seeing Xuanwu leading people away, Yi Fan turned around and smiled with relief. Looking at Yi Fan's back, Chen Feng found that the protagonist was stronger. Before, after Chen Feng advanced to the realm of War King, he could vaguely feel the spiritual fluctuations of Yi Fan's War Candidate realm, but now he found that there was no trace of aura fluctuations on Yi Fan's body, as if he had become immortal. This shows that Yi Fan's realm is too much higher than his. If Yi Fan doesn't want to, then Chen Feng can't sense his spiritual power fluctuations at all. Yi Fan's strength has indeed been enhanced after the breakthrough of his two descendants. After improving 2 realms, Yi Fan is now in the 5th level of the War Candidate realm, which belongs to the middle stage of the War Candidate realm, Shao family in Ancient City. After Xiao Yun was notified by Xuanhuan sect that she was seriously injured in the competition, Xiao Miao, who lived at home, quickly sent someone to pick her up. Originally thought that it was just an ordinary disciple who was injured in the competition, but when Xiao Yun was brought back, Xiao Miao found that Xiao Yun's meridians were broken and she could no longer practice in this life. Xiao Miao was immediately furious and asked Xiao Yun the reason. After Xiao Yun told him, Xiao Miao knew that it was Wang Yan, the young patriarch of the Wang family in Ancient City, who did it. Moreover, Wang Yan also awakened the best spiritual roots and broke through to the 5th level of the battle pill. He was directly accepted as a personal disciple by the leader of Xuanhuan sect. Xiao Miao immediately felt that something was wrong. Wang Yan, the young patriarch of the Wang family, was a villain who would take revenge for any slight. The reason why he seriously injured Xiao Yun must be to avenge Xiao Xian's injury to him. Xiao Miao remembered that Xiao Xian was still traveling outside, so he quickly sent a long-distance voice transmission to him, asking him not to go to the sphere of influence of Xuanhuan sect in the near future. Otherwise, if Wang Yan found out, he would definitely kill Xiao Xian in front of Xiao Yun's boudoir. Xiao Miao, the head of the Xiao family, several elders and important managers, all gathered together at this moment. They were waiting for the pharmacist to check Xiao Yun's injuries. After a long while, the white-haired pharmacist came out of the room tremblingly. Xiao Miao hurried to help him. Seeing this, everyone hurried over and asked the pharmacist nervously, "Pharmacist, how is Xiao Yun's injury? Is there any way to reverse it?" The pharmacist waved his hand and said, "Miss Xiao's meridians are broken, and there is no possibility of practicing anymore." Hearing what the pharmacist said, everyone in the Xiao family was extremely angry. This Wang family is too much. After learning about this, many members of the Xiao family decided to rush to the Wang family to seek justice. Of course, some people also advised. Xiao Yun was expelled from Xuanhuan sect, which shows that the Wang family has relied on the big tree of Xuanhuan sect. If we go to the Wang family to make trouble now, isn't it exactly what the Wang family wants? What does Elder Su mean? My daughter was injured by Wang Yan. If this revenge is not avenged, how can my Xiao family have the face to stand in the ancient city? Xiao Miao said angrily. Patriarch, calm down. I am also considering the Xiao family. Elder Su said embarrassedly. In Xiao Yun's attic, Xiao Yun was wrapped tightly in bandages because of broken tendons and veins, leaving only a delicate face exposed. Father, Elder Su is right. You can't let the whole family be implicated for me. Although Xiao Yun was injured, he still said with difficulty when he heard that his father Xiao Miao was also seeking revenge for him. When Xiao Miao heard that even Xiao Yun said this, he knew that revenge was hopeless. Popped up the mahogany table in front of Xiao Yun's bed was smashed by Xiao Miao. It's all my father's fault for being incompetent and unable to help you vent your anger. At this time, Xiao Xian also arrived outside the Xiao family's door. When the old housekeeper saw Xiao Xian, he immediately told him about Xiao Yun's recovery, and then led him to Xiao Yun's attic. When Xiao Xian stepped into the attic, he just heard the conversation between Xiao Yun and his father. Xiao Yun, brother is back. Don't be afraid, I'll take care of this matter. I'll help you vent your anger. Xiao Xian saw Xiao Yun, who was pale and wrapped in bandages like a dumpling, and said distressedly. Xiao Xian, why are you back? Yes, young master, Wang Yan is looking for you. Wang Yan is no longer the same as before. He has climbed up the big tree of Xuanhuan sect. You should go out and hide to avoid the limelight. Brother, don't go to find Wang Yan. That when everyone saw Xiao Xian said he was going to find Wang Yan, they quickly persuaded him. Don't worry, everyone. This Wang Yan is just a clown. I don't take him seriously at all. Sister, don't talk anymore. Just rest and recover. I'll be back soon. After comforting his sister Xiao Yun, Xiao Xian stood up and flew away. The speed was very fast. With a snap, he flew 100 feet away. This method was similar to shrinking the earth into an inch. Everyone was stunned when they saw it, especially Father Xiao. His heart trembled when he saw Xiao Xian's amazing speed. This speed was impossible even with his cultivation at the peak of the battle pill mirror. Chapter 20 Sword Intention. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Xiao Xian left the Xiao family, performed a similar inch-shifting technique in the star art, and rushed towards the Xuanhuan sect. This technique of shrinking the earth into an inch was originally only mastered by the peak of the War King, but after Xiao Xian activated the star constitution, he could also master it preliminarily with the star art in his mind. Just as Xiao Xian rushed to the Xuanhuan sect, the Xuanhuan sect's disciple competition was still going on. After defeating Xiao Yun and becoming the disciple of the sect master Hu Tai, the young patriarch of the Wang family, Wang Yan, attracted the jealousy of many disciples. Taiwan Novel Network. So in the next ring competition, other disciples began to target Wang Yan intentionally or unintentionally, but without exception, all were defeated by Wang Yan. There are many Xuanhuan disciples who challenged Wang Yan in the War Pill realm, but even so, they could not stop Wang Yan's few moves. At this time, Wang Yan stood on the stage, looking down on all sides. If there are still people who are not convinced, you can continue to challenge. That the Xuanhuan sect competition was originally a one-on-one competition by drawing lots. Only by defeating the current opponent can you enter the next round. Today's game is already the finals. If nothing unexpected happens, Wang Yan should be the winner of this year's Xuanhuan sect outer disciples competition, but seeing Wang Yan so arrogant and domineering, many inner disciples couldn't hold back and went on stage to compete with him, in order to make the sect master look at themselves more. But these inner disciples all became Wang Yan's stepping stones. Wang Yan's voice fell, but no one dared to go on stage again. Wang Yan's performance just now was too fierce. Even the top 3 disciples in the inner sect competition that year were defeated by Wang Yan in a few moves. Now facing Wang Yan's shouting, the whole audience was silent, and you could hear a pin drop. After a long while, the elder in charge of enrollment in Xuanhuan sect came up to sect master Hu Tai and said, Sect master, our Xuanhuan sect has always been fair and just in recruiting disciples in the ancient city area. This time, because of Wang Yan, Xiao Yun from the Xiao family was rashly removed from the list. Wouldn't that be a bad idea? Seeing what the enrollment elder Zhao said, sect master Hu Tai did not comment and said, this Xiao Yun from the Xiao family is a good seedling, but I am more optimistic about Wang Yan. He can advance to the War Pill realm at this age, and he is also a top-grade spiritual root. Even if it is a big sect in Shenlu Mansion, it will be snapped up. We must seize this opportunity and try to please him as much as possible. Yes, as long as this Wang Yan can grow up, he has a great chance to advance to the War King. As for the ancient city Shao family, it is just a small border family and is not worth mentioning at all. The law enforcement elder snorted and echoed, seeing that both the sect master and the law enforcement elder said so. The enrollment elder who just made trouble for Xuanhuan could only shake his head helplessly. Although Xuanhuan was recruited into Xuanhuan's sect by him, he had some good feelings towards her. However, the world of immortal cultivation is a world of the jungle. If you don't have strength, you deserve to be chased to death by others. Even if the Shao family was exterminated by Wang Yan in the end, they can only blame their lack of strength. I hope Xiao Xian can retreat when he sees the difficulty and kowtow to Wang Yan to admit his mistake. This may save the entire Shao family. The recruitment elder thought secretly. Just as the recruitment elder was thinking secretly, a gust of wind suddenly blew in the distance. The violent gust of wind carried sand and soil, and the people of Xuanhuan sect couldn't open their eyes for a while. When the wind stopped, Xiao Xian stood on the stage. Xiao Xian. Xiao Xian suddenly appeared in front of him, and Wang Yan shouted, although he was surprised in his heart, how could Xiao Xian appear in front of him out of thin air? But the next moment, Wang Yan became extremely excited. He was just about to seek revenge on Xiao Xian, but he came to him unexpectedly, which saved him the trouble of looking for him everywhere. After Wang Yan called out Xiao Xian's name, all the senior elders and disciples of Xuanhuan sect were shocked. Is this person Xiao Xian? He looks so thin and weak, and his realm is not high. He will definitely not be able to withstand 3 moves from Wang Yan. 3 moves. Wang Yan is at the 6th level of Zhandan. If Xiao Xian can withstand 1 move from him, I will stand upside down and eat shit. That with the appearance of Xiao Xian, the scene was boiling again. Wang Yan, haven't you been looking for me? Now I'm here to take your dog's life. Xiao Xian looked at Wang Yan coldly, with an indifferent expression, as if looking at a dead person. Xiao Xian's words were like a huge rock thrown into a calm lake, which instantly set off a huge wave. The whole Xuanhuan sect was in an uproar. Even the senior members of Xuanhuan sect on the stage were shocked. Hiss, this brat is so arrogant. The disciples under the ring gasped and sighed. Xiao Xian, I am not the same person I was 3 years ago. Today I will show you that in the face of absolute strength, any words are superfluous. Wang Yan grinned. After saying this, Wang Yan took a step forward with the 9-ring broadsword and rushed towards Xiao Xian. When Wang Yan was fighting with Xuanhuan and the inner disciples, he only released the spiritual energy fluctuations of the 5th level of the War Pill, but now, he had no reservations in front of his enemy Xiao Xian, and immediately released the 7th level of the War Pill. Instantly, the spiritual pressure from a distance swept around the ring like a wave. Some Xuanhuan sect disciples who were close to the ring fell to the ground without standing firmly under the spiritual pressure of the 7th level of the War Pill. As one fell, more and more Xuanhuan sect disciples fell one after another like bowling balls being hit. Seeing this, several referees on the field hurriedly joined hands to cast a spell and reinforce the array barrier on the ring, so that Wang Yan would not explode and hurt other Xuanhuan sect disciples. Wang Yan held a big knife and came with great momentum. Wang Yan shouted, and a fire stick appeared in his hand at some point. Rolling dragon wall with sword. Wang Yan used a stick instead of a sword and performed the sword technique recorded in the star art. Boom! The next moment, Wang Yan's 9-ring big knife fell on the fire stick, with Wang Yan as the center. The entire reinforced ring collapsed in an instant. Xiao Xian's 2 feet also completely sank under the floor tiles of the ring. Good swordsmanship. Sect Master Hu Tai was overjoyed. Wang Yan's swordsmanship of Pixing Xuanhuan just now was indeed extremely exquisite. It seems that he has advanced to the realm of momentum in the way of swordsmanship, which is too unexpected for Hu Tai. You should know that there are 3 stages in the cultivation of any weapon, namely, art, momentum, and intention. If a practitioner masters art, it means that his moves can be integrated, and mastering momentum means that the weapon he is practicing has reached a higher stage. he has reached the realm of defeating moves with no moves. As for intention, it means that the practitioner has mastered a trace of the law of the Great Way in the cultivation of this weapon. The 3 stages of weapon cultivation have nothing to do with the realm and depend entirely on personal comprehension. It is said that there is a swordsman in the realm of fighting soul in Xuanhuan Mansion. With the sword intention he mastered, he can kill the War King across levels. Wang Yan has now mastered the sword momentum. Although he is not as abnormal as that swordsman, it is still very easy to kill some people in the realm of fighting body across levels. This boy has such an amazing talent. My Xuanhuan sect will definitely have one more War King sect master. Hu Tai laughed out loud. If the Xuanhuan sect can produce a leader to fight for the king, then the Xuanhuan sect can be promoted to an upper-level sect, and the cultivation resources that the elders and disciples of the sect can obtain will also increase several times in the future. Xiao Xian, you are too slow. After being blocked by Xiao Xian, Wang Yan was not annoyed. He drew back the big knife and said to him with a faint sarcasm, "You should know that I am no longer the same as before after mastering the knife. Today I will let you see how I defeated you. Have you finished talking? You talk too much nonsense." Xiao Xian said speechlessly. Xiao Xian, who activated the star constitution and mastered the star formula, had already reached the sword intent. In front of Xiao Xian, Wang Yan was just a jumping clown. Hiss, this stinky boy is so arrogant. He will see what will happen later. He will probably be tortured to death by Wang Yan. The people under the ring talked a lot. Xiao Xian didn't waste any more words and used a stick instead of a sword. He threw a sword flower in the air and then stabbed towards Wang Yan. You don't know your own limits. Wang Yan said indifferently, and then raised his knife to block. Bang! The next moment, Wang Yan flew out like a kite with a broken string. Wang Yan couldn't withstand Xiao Xian's attack. Seeing the shocking scene, it was like a heavy hammer hitting everyone's heart.